Hello, movie lovers! Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and as the shirt says, I do love horror. Today I'd like to review for you a movie I just watched called Barbarian. I was provided a digital copy of this one for review, and it is available now on digital. Now, this is kind of a strange movie, and I'm gonna really have to walk a line to describe this without giving away the entire movie, because there are some twists that are basically the entire movie, so I'd be careful not to give those away. But this movie does have Justin Long, and he's in a pretty big role, and I love Justin Long. I feel like he's one of the most underappreciated, underutilized actors in Hollywood. Now, this movie starts out with this woman who is going to this Airbnb or something like that house, and she's rented it, and she gets there, and then she's supposed to put this code in the lockbox, get the key out to open the door, but she gets the lockbox open, and there is no key. Now, she attempts to call the owner, and there is no answer. So it is pouring out, and she's cold, and she doesn't know what to do. So she goes into her car, and when she gets into her car, she sees a light turn on inside, and she's like, well, is there somebody inside? And to me, I was kind of like, was somebody waiting for her? And they waited till she got into her car to turn the light on so she would see they turned the light on. It was definitely a moment that left me kind of questioning what was happening there. But basically this guy, so she goes to the window, sees there's this guy in there. She rings the doorbell. He comes to the door and answers, and he's like, what? What? He's confused. I don't know if they say what time it is, but he claims he was sleeping, and she kind of woke him up. And she says, this is my Airbnb. And he's like, oh, I rented it on some other app. So I'm assuming the owner, lists it on multiple apps. So that way, if somebody's using a certain app, they could find it. And so he says, if you want to come in, dry off, find another place, or try to get in contact with the owner, whatever you want to do, you're welcome to come inside. And a big red flag right there, who would go in? But she reluctantly agrees to go in. And he's real kind of socially awkward. And it really made me question, does he own this place? And this is way he traps people into his home or whatever. He pretends he's renting it, and he's real confused. He doesn't know what's going on. And it does leave you kind of wondering, if this is possibly the scenario or not, for a while. And they give some little small subtle clues, but it's real hard to tell what's going on for the beginning of this movie. And then she finds this hidden room in the basement. And when she finds it, he has gone off somewhere. He's scouting locations or something. And I'm like, okay, why is he not there? It's very confusing to me, even as a horror fan, where they're going. And so she ends up finding this hidden room, and she goes and explores it. And I'm not going to give away any more of the story after that, other than it turns out Justin Long's character is the owner of this home, and then he comes to the home, I think to try to sell it. He's going to come see what he can do and sell it because he really needs money. So this movie really seems to mash up several genres or just other films I'm familiar with, and in a very interesting way. So a lot of this movie does have characters kind of in these dark underground tunnels with somebody or some people trying to do sinister things to them. Now, I thought the acting was great, very well done for a horror movie. It isn't particularly bloody or gory. In fact, there is one kind of brutal kill, but they blurred the camera, and I don't mind. I don't have to see detailed gore or anything like that, but it was an odd choice to blur the camera. Confusing as a viewer why the camera would be blurred, but that's okay. I also didn't think this movie was very scary. There's a few little jump scares. I jumped once. I rarely jump in a horror movie, so it did have at least one jump scare that kind of got me. And I feel like this movie is more about claustrophobia and dark, confined spaces, which doesn't bother me. So I maybe that's why I didn't find this movie to be particularly scary. Like I say, there are some jump scares and such, but I just didn't really find it to be all that scary. Now, overall, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. Like I said, I like the characters. I like the way they went with it. They did leave it very confusing, but not in a way that annoyed me, just in a way where I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And they did some abrupt cuts where it's okay, this woman's in this underground tunnel, and then they cut to Justin Long driving on the road, and you're like, what? What's going on? You know, and they bring it together, and I feel like they answer everything. They don't leave you wondering in the end. You know, they wrap it up pretty nicely and really provide you with a very interesting story. So I think for a score on this one, guys, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this one. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check the show's videos, and I'll see you guys next time.